Hello, my name is Nigel from Reyes Fleet Management. Today we're going to do a PM on a Leyman Rear Lift Gate. The first thing you want to do is check the charging system. I hooked up a multimeter to good ground, and we're going to check the condition of the batteries. Next thing I'm going to do is check the charging voltage. I'm going to turn on the Thermo King unit, or you could turn on the tractor, depending on your application. Okay, check your reading. It should increase. Okay, record your reading on the battery, off the battery charging system on your PM sheet. Next, we're going to check the battery box and battery condition. First, you check and see what the spec sheet and see what kind of battery you're supposed to have inside of your battery box per spec sheet. Check your connections for tightness and corrosion. Then check your hold down. Make sure your batteries don't move. Next thing we're going to do is do a battery load test. Now we're going to load test the battery. First thing we want to do, connect your terminals. Go to battery test. Enter. We already inspected the battery for dirt, leaks, and cracks. Enter. We already inspected the posts and connections. And we connected to all the leads on the battery. Enter. Battery temperature is 80 degrees, 12.63 volts. Enter. The cold cranking amps of the battery is 1,000. Enter. Battery type is an AGM battery. Enter. And we're doing a load test. Enter. We have a good battery and it passed the load test. Next, we're going to check the rear lift gate switches, operation of all the switches. First thing we want to do is bring it down to the proper area before you unfold and fold. Proper area right now. Going to unfold. When you unfold, you got to check your spec sheet for the unfold time and the fold time. Now we're going to fold it back. Okay. Now we're going to unfold it and check going down. Next, we're going to check the rail switches. We're going up. Okay. Check the second rail switch. Going up. Okay. Check it for going down. Check your other switch for going down. That concludes the part of checking the switches for the rear lift gate. First thing you want to do is make sure you got the proper decals. You check your bolts, make sure they're all secured. And then you check your welds. Walk around this side. Check your safety decals. You check your bolts. You check all your welds. Next thing we're going to do, we're going to lower the lift gate and check your hoses and clamps. Remove excess cover. What you want to do is check for 5 clamps. And when you check the clamps, make sure the hoses is not punctured or there's no chafing, and the spring is in good condition. And also make sure the zip tie is here. This will stop the hose from being rubbed and damaged. Everything looks good. While you're on this side, you want to check your rollers, check the seals, make sure there's no leaks. Your seals are intact. Also, when you grease, use a hand grease gun, no air gun. You want to check your cylinder. You check your cylinder pins, the upper. You check your lower. Check your cylinder for leakage. And you want to check your line. Make sure there's no leakage or chafing or damage. Also check these lines here for chafing or damage. And with this ramp all the way down, you want to take a 50 thousandths filler gauge and check your clearance. If the clearance is not correct, you can move the cover and you can put the proper shims. Also, you raise it all the way up. That's when you'll check the other shims. Also, check your chain. Make sure it's secured properly. Carter keys, no damage to the chain. U-bolt is bolted properly. You want to check your lights. Okay, both lights are operational. Okay, you want to check for your welds, your handle. Go across and check the welds on both sides and check your handles. Okay, next we're going to raise the handle, raise this ramp up. Lock works properly. That lock works properly also. The side ramp. Check your locks. All right, also if you want to check for edges, sharp. If they're sharp, you want to file them down. The lock works properly. Also, you have Allen screws holding the ramp. Make sure they're all secured properly and tight. Next thing you want to do is raise the ramp up. Make sure the ramp goes level. And don't forget on this side, also check your rollers, check your seals, front and back. Also, if you're using a grease gun, make sure it's a hand grease gun. Okay, check your ramp, make sure it's leveled all the way across. If not, you have to do adjustments. Okay, look at your inside cylinders, make sure there's no leakage and there's no damage to any hoses. And check both sides. check your ramp, make sure it's leveled all the way across. If not, you have to do adjustments. Okay, look at your inside cylinders. Make sure there's no leakage and there's no damage to any hoses. And check both sides. Now we're going to grease the rollers with a hand grease gun. If the rails need lubing, use spray lube that's dry. Next, we're going to check the rear liftgate pump box. First thing you want to do is check your wells on the box. Next, check your handle and the latches on the box. They're in good shape, not broken. Remove the box and make sure your schematic is inside the box. Okay, check your connections on the relays. You check your wiring for chafing or corrosion. And check your hoses for any chafing or leaking. You check all your connections, upper and lower. All your wiring for corrosion or being loose. Check your circuit breakers. Connections, make sure they're secured, no corrosion. Also check your relays in here. Make sure they're all secured with no corrosion. Check your grounds. Make sure they're all secured with no corrosion also and broken wiring. Next, we're going to check the remote switch. Down, up. Also check the fold and unfold feature. Make sure the switch is to the left for power down. Next, we're going to check the fluid level. For a power down lift gate, you always raise the lift gate all the way up before you check the level. The level should be halfway of the tank. Is that a good level? The final portion of your pump box maintenance is to reset your maintenance winder. First thing you do, Go to menu 2, hit enter, scroll up, and follow the on-screen instructions. Check your rail, check your hoses all the way down. Check the track, make sure any kind of damage. When you get by the tires, if they had blowout, you can damage the tray and the hoses could leak. So make sure there's no damage and that the tray is secured properly and welded. At the rear of the trailer, make sure the hoses are zip tied and isolated away from anything that can rub a hole into the hoses.